Broadcasts of HIKI NŌ are made possible by the support of viewers like you. Mahalo. And by Bank of Hawaii Foundation, investing in Hawaii's future by promoting collaboration, critical thinking, and other 21st century skills through HIKI NŌ. Kamehameha Schools, empowering Hawaiian keiki to explore, discover, and inspire. ABC Stores, a local company helping to transform education and develop Hawaii's workforce through bold learning initiatives like HIKI NŌ.
So can you tell me a little bit about yourselves?
Hi, so my name is Yasha Ronquillo, and I'm a recent graduate from Maui High School.
I'm Grace Benton, and I just graduated from Kalaheo High School on the windward side of Oahu.
Nice. I'm Brett Kana, and I graduated from Kauai High School. So Yasha, could you tell me about a story that you created for HIKI NŌ that was important to you or meant a lot to you?
Yeah, so I did the story I Am Able, which is a story about this young, very inspirational boy. He is a middle schooler at Maui Waina in Kahului, and he was born with spina bifida, and what that is it's a birth defect in his spinal cord, so that really affected his mobility, and therefore he has to be on a wheelchair. But he has a very strong spirit, and he didn't let that stop him from doing the things that he loved to do.
Keijan Keys is just like any other piano student who struggles with mastering the notes. But coordinating with the keys is not the only worry Keijan has to create that perfect piece.
So Keijan was born with spina bifida. It's a birth defect where your backbone did not completely close. So anything below that is affected, in his case, including his mobility.
Keijan has been using his wheelchair for most of his life. This in itself has brought him some challenges, especially during his recent transition from Pu'ukukui Elementary to Maui Waina Intermediate in Kahului, Maui.
The biggest difference is that the campus is kind of bigger than my other campus. And we don't stay in one classroom, we switch every hour for different classes. But when I have to go down to the field, because there's like portables, it takes me a long time, and sometimes I'm late to class.
His teachers are understanding, but there are areas where he feels left out.
But when I see like other kids playing football or soccer, sometimes I feel like, oh, I wonder how it feels like to play football or soccer.
Despite being in a wheelchair, Keijan pushed himself to do what he and his family thought impossible.
Sports. I never thought he would be able to play any kind of sports.
Through the years, Keijan has been on a roll. He is involved in numerous sports, including tennis, surfing, wheelchair racing, and swimming.
I like to do these things because it's fun and it gets me exercise. What I like about swimming is I get to meet new kids and I get to get along with them, and I get to meet my new coach, and I get to go to other places like Oahu.
You are amazing.
Last year, Keijan brought home a silver and a bronze medal from Special Olympics.
I got them in Oahu
After keeping himself busy with school and sports,
which I got scared because I thought there were sharks.
At the end of the day, Keijan will ultimately go back to his first love.
My hobbies are playing the ukulele and piano, and a little bit of guitar. My favorite is playing the ukulele. I started playing the ukulele 4 years ago when I was 7.
He goes to parties and community events, and he plays and sings for the community. Keijan is unique because he proves me wrong. He not only lives up to my expectations, but he soars above it.
Even with his disability, the support Keijan has from his family, paired up with his cheerful attitude, has enabled him to pursue his numerous involvements, proving that he definitely is able.
This is Yasha Anquillo from Maui High School for HIKI NŌ.
That was a really neat piece. I liked how for all the shots that you had of him that were super personable and like getting to have like hear the laughter behind it, you know, and getting like it's almost like we were getting to know him without meeting him, you know, which I thought was super cool.
Thank you. The piece really was incredibly beautiful. Just hearing his story and like the mom, first of all, educating us a little about spina bifida, but then just seeing him, like he was so happy and playing music and wanting to do sports and being in Special Olympics. The story just kept developing, and then it was tied back to music, and I was like, okay, yeah, the piano piece was the starting point. It just, you get wrapped up in it, and when you lose yourself watching something like that in just a short piece, it was very beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
What did you learn while making this piece?
Oh, well, first of all, like you said, I got educated more with spina bifida, and I learned just how to interact with him more. I am very close with Keijan now, and we do a lot of things together in terms of music. But as far as HIKI NŌ, this was a piece that I really tried to challenge myself, you know, in terms of storytelling. I worked on this piece between the ending of my junior year and the beginning of my senior year, and that's when I really wanted to challenge myself. Okay, how will you make a story out of this? Like, you know your subject, you know what he does, but how are you going to make a story out of it? So for the most part, I tried to take on almost all the roles. So I filmed, I wrote it, and then I did most of the editing. But then ultimately what I learned is that in HIKI NŌ, you really need collaboration at the end of the day. You can't just do things by yourself. Eventually, you'll need to kind of take away your pride and just really, you know, get other people's feedback, get another person's help, because you can't really do things by yourself, essentially. So I got a lot of help from my teacher, Mr. Clint Gima, and from another student as well, and they gave me a lot of different perspective and insight on how to really make the story better. So essentially, collaboration and communication is what I've learned while making this story.
So Grace, what did you produce for HIKI NŌ that meant a lot to you?
Mine was the Winter 2018 challenge, and it was to tell a story of something, a special place. And at the time, so I live in Kailua, and it was the closing weekend for Agnes's Portuguese bake shop. And they had been around for 47 years. It had a long time place in the community. Teachers, family, everyone went to Agnes's for malasadas. And, you know, it had been empty for a few years. People go for a dozen of malasadas and that's it. But I knew that for this closing weekend, it'd be packed and we'd be able to talk to people and get their stories and make something for Agnes's to show them what their impact was in the community.
Agnes's Bakery has been around for 47 years. For many generations, it has served authentic Portuguese malasadas and a variety of baked goods to the people of Kailua. On Sunday, January 28 of 2018, this beloved bake shop closed its doors for good. However, it will not be forgotten by those who enjoy the scrumptious malasadas you can't get anywhere else.
Since they've done so much for so many other people, I figured I could do something for them.
I've owned Agnes's Bake Shop for 30 years this year. The original owner was Agnes and Tommy Wright, and then they sold it to their son-in-law, whose name was Mel Tom, and I bought it from Mel Tom.
I've been coming mostly every Friday to get the malasadas. And every once in a while in the week, I'll come in, pick up a pastry, talk to the staff for a little while. You know, for 50 years, it was a long run. It was a great run, yeah.
It's sad to see them go.
Agnes's Bakery and its long time in the community. It's been such a just such a wonderful local place, and it's going to be sad not to have them here anymore.
The quality of the baked goods here has always been wonderful, keeps everybody coming back. And it's always a really good family atmosphere too, so they're going to be sorely missed.
There really isn't a replacement for Agnes's. It's quite a loss.
You know, I've been going to Agnes's for over 30 years. When my kids were young, it was kind of our favorite treat. We would go there. Their favorite thing to get was the maple flavored Long John. We would go almost every weekend, and even now my kids are all adults. They live on the mainland. When they come home, they all want to make their trip to Agnes's in the morning to go pick up their Long Johns. You know, you knew that they were made homemade in there every day. In my mind, it's irreplaceable.
It truly is the end of an era. It's a sad day.
Agnes's filled not just our stomachs, but our hearts as well, as they bring people together through the sugary sweetness they have kept alive throughout the years. This is Desmond Lum from Kalaheo High School for HIKI NŌ.
Wow, that was a really good story, and obviously from the responses of the customers and the volunteers that it was a really special place for the community, and I'm really glad that you guys got to capture that moment in that closing week. So I applaud you guys.
Thank you.
What's neat about these kinds of stories is that sometimes the smallest things can have the greatest impact, and sometimes you don't even realize it until you bring out a story like this. And so it's cool, especially to see the reactions from the customers that return every now and then and get a perspective, like insiders' ideas of something that a lot of people may not know about. Yeah. What did you learn while making this?
I learned so much through this winter challenge. And I guess ordinarily there's a couple months to make a HIKI NŌ video that you're gonna present and submit. But for this challenge, you have 4 days. And so the Friday that my team and we had gotten it, it was a special place. And just the whole brainstorming, it required a lot of critical thinking, and coming up with Agnes's, I felt good about it. And we're like, okay, let's dive into it. And then getting on scene, talking to the owners and stuff. Nan DeMalo, he was great and he let us go into the back to do our B-roll filming, but also getting our interviews and stuff with the volunteers and with customers. That was kind of that extra reach to go up to someone and be like, hey, can we interview you? But in general, just between the interviewing and editing, everything, I learned a lot. So, Brooke, what's a story that you want to share that was special to you?
So I did a story a while back with a classmate, and so we did a story called the McDonald's J1 Visa Program. And so what that's about is, I didn't even know about this before we did the story on it. And so basically colleges send international students to McDonald's to work and kind of get a cultural experience, something that they wouldn't get in the workforce back home. And so, yeah, thought that was a neat story to do.
3 and 12. They have a lot of jobs in America. And I choose the McDonald's because I love to eat. Yeah.
Yeah, my J1 students are pretty much international. Currently, we have the Thailand students with us.
The reason that we hire the students from other countries is because we have such a low unemployment rate that it's very difficult to maintain the level of employees we need to take care of our customers. So this program allows us to bring students in during our peak times of the year. What we're looking for is somebody that is customer oriented, that's got a good smile, looks happy, and many of them do.
Hi.
They're great ambassadors for us. They're all college students. They want to learn the English. They want to learn about our culture. So it's a great program for them.
For students in the J1 Work Visa Program, the experience to potentially help them round out their interpersonal and communication skills is what drives them to come to work in America.
What flavor do you want? Of the iced coffee? In Thailand, you pay a lot of money and your English skill is not better. And that's why I come here. I came here because when I work, I speak English with the customer, with the everyone. I want to get better my English skill.
It's very important for them when they go home that they have a letter showing that not only experience, but experience in the U.S. Because the employers know if they worked here and they have a letter of reference that they're probably going to make a good employee when they graduate.
I would like to be person who work in the airplane. This job is like I have to serve people and have to take care of the customer. If I work here, I should smile to them and be nice to them, right?
When we don't have the customer, we will clean the counter, clean the tray, and like that.
But for Gems, it's more than learning the basic skills of the workforce. It's learning about life.
Okay, I come here for learn about the real life. For working in Thailand, I have the car, but I never take a bus. I never have a schedule. I never do that before. And it's a real life. It's a real work.
100 hours around your trip.
Thank you.
So let's do that.
This is Brett Kana from Kauai High School for HIKI NŌ.
It's pretty cool what they do for international students, like the opportunities. You don't really think about it. When we live here, we have our own job experiences, our own resumes we're building. And what one of the interviews that you guys had gotten, she had said when they go back to where they're from, it's good on their resume that they worked a job in America, or just that they have English skills, and that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, I really love that story. As an immigrant, I can say that back home it is really hard, getting that job experience before going really into the workforce. And thank you for sharing that there's that opportunity for people from Thailand or other countries, that they can come here into America and really get that hands-on experience here, and at the same time getting to know the culture, getting to learn the language, just building up those skills.
Thank you.
So what did you learn while working on that story?
Well, first of all, you could hear that they have pretty thick accents. So I mean, for me, speaking, I guess, proper English. I mean, growing around Pidgin and everything you kind of get used to it, but definitely getting to understand and pay attention more to what they have to say, because you don't want to miss anything important that they might have to add to the story, and being aware of who you're working with. And also, it's funny because we had to send this to the producers and ask for their feedback, and then they would send it back to us, and it was kind of like going on for a while, and we had to re-edit to make it better. But I mean, like, it's a learning process, right? You want to get it to as good as it can be, and if there's something that you can improve, then why not, right?
I mean, the ending piece was awesome, so you did a good job.
Thank you. So let's talk about how the skills that we've learned from HIKI NŌ can prepare us for things like college and the workplace and life.
Okay, well, I'm heading off to the University of San Francisco this fall. HIKI NŌ, it's offered me so much between critical thinking and creativity. It just kind of like uncanned the can of worm type of thing. I'll definitely carry that with me, just because I'm kind of a left brain type of person, and through this through creative media, I've kind of focused more on the right brain, so it's finding the balance. And for college, at least, like, I want to remain, and I'll be in San Francisco, so kind of a weird town. It'll be fun.
Yeah, definitely the balance. I guess working on a story, it's very kind of rigorous, and there is a time span that you get to work on a story, so balancing yourself. So one of the things that HIKI NŌ has helped me in is definitely organization. So for college, I plan to use that organization, time management skills, and just getting things done at a certain time, at a certain date. And I feel like that's important as, college students. We're going to have essays or assignments due. And I feel like that ties in well with the workforce. We can't really be complacent when it comes to jobs. So that's really one of the main things that HIKI NŌ has taught me, is that you really need to manage your time well in terms of your projects and whatnot. So that's really good.
Yeah, and I think for me, especially going to college, everybody's new, and so something big is communication skills. And because, I like you want to make friends, right? And nobody knows each other, and so just getting the comfortability to go out and meet new people. And so like HIKI NŌ, you have to go out and meet people for stories that you may have never been around, and just getting that one-on-one conversation skill, to just, be open to new things, try new things, and also the constructive criticism aspect of stuff. In college, I imagine it to be a lot more, strict, or yeah, I guess strict is the word. And so being able to take the feedback from your professors and like applying it instead of just like getting all defensive about it, because they're only trying to help you get better at whatever you're doing. So yeah.
It's like a combination of all the characteristics that you can get from HIKI NŌ. Collaboration, the critical thinking, creativity, in communication, all of it. We're just becoming our better version of ourselves, and you're gonna have to meet a ton of new people in college, like you said, and professors, students, community members. We're gonna be in different places, so I don't know. There's just so much you can learn. So in the fall, I'll be going to the University of San Francisco, and my intended major is data science. That alone was kind of my left brain being like, all right, do some techie things. But HIKI NŌ, it was in my subconscious, so I looked up other clubs, and there is USFTV. They have something that the students create their own media and whatnot.
For me, I will be staying on Maui. I'll be staying at home, very close to home, at the University of Hawaiʻi Maui College, and I will be majoring in applied business and information technology. And it's not really the main reason why I'm staying, but a big reason as to why I'm staying is because, like I said, I want to stay close to home. And one of the main people that really encouraged me to do that and to make that decision is my media teacher, Mr. Clint Gima, and he's also one of my HIKI NŌ mentors. So I will be staying on Maui, and I will be helping with the media program there, and potentially help them with their HIKI NŌ projects as well. So it's kind of like I'm going into a full circle, kind of like starting out as a HIKI NŌ student, and then eventually like teaching them like the skills that I learned in HIKI NŌ. So
yeah, that's super cool. So I'll be going to Biola University in Southern California, and my major is cinema and media arts. And so my focus is in production. I'm not really sure exactly what I want to go into, but definitely more of the creative side. And HIKI NŌ, I've been working with them since middle school, and I've always been interested in media and stuff like that. And so getting to do stories for them and working with people that are part of HIKI NŌ just kind of made me realize that this is something that I would like to do for the rest of my life, like tell stories and touch the people that may not have the chance to speak out, stuff like that, and getting the voiceless heard, so to speak. Yeah. So for me, going to college, it's always been something in the back of my mind, like I want to go to college, not just because, my parents would love me to go to college and get a better education, but I think it's that next step in life, just getting your independence from your family, like you said, like branching out and trying things new, and getting a sense of myself too, just kind of figuring out what I actually want to do in life.
Yeah, for me personally, I want to go into college to just explore what's out there, and to like see what else I can do, and just to better my future, There's all these statistics and numbers and whatnot, but then personally I know that it's definitely the path for me, and now it's something that I really want to go into.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's definitely a stepping stone. College, it was the next step. But it's just something, leaving Hawaii to go to San Francisco, that's like, I'm claiming that. That's gonna be my story, is to go to college away from home.
It's interesting, like hearing all of our different paths, because like I find a lot of opportunities on Maui, and that's a big reason as to why I'm staying too. But it's interesting because both of you guys are leaving for college, so it's great to hear your guys' side.
So looking back at all of what we just talked about, I mean, HIKI NŌ in all of its entirety has definitely instilled growth in my character and just getting me to realize my passions and my strengths, weaknesses, such and such. Yeah, I mean, it's been a really good experience to get to work with people that I've never met before, and like collaboration, bettering my communication skills, and yeah, just having fun with it all in all, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I loved meeting all of the different people and just like getting to share their stories. That was a really great experience, and I'm very thankful that HIKI NŌ has given me that opportunity to, you know, just get out into the community and just share the lives of these amazing people.
In 1 year, it was an affirmation of what I'm good at and things I could work on, and I loved every second of it. Meeting the kind of people that are very creative, and they've been doing it for years like you guys have, and for me just to jump in, it was an incredible opportunity and experience that I hope to keep living through.
Broadcasts of HIKI NŌ are made possible by the support of viewers like you. Mahalo. And by Bank of Hawaii Foundation, investing in Hawaii's future by promoting collaboration, critical thinking, and other 21st century skills through HIKI NŌ. Kamehameha Schools, empowering Hawaiian keiki to explore, discover, and inspire. ABC Stores, a local company helping to transform education and develop Hawaii's workforce through bold learning initiatives like HIKI NŌ.